McDonald's and Jordan. You got elected for both. So what was your experience at like each one? We'll start with Jordan. How'd you find out you got into Jordan? And then what was your experience playing in it?
They sent the letter or something, but I kind of already knew like I was gonna make all of those because like as you watch from like the years before, like whatever in the rankings, guys who usually rank whatever in this spot, you know your ranking. You're not necessarily watching your ranking, but you know like where you rank. That if you rank top 15, top 10, you're gonna go play in the Jordan brand, like you're gonna go play in the McDonald's game. So I remember them sending me a letter or something to school. I think it was to Montverde or one of my coaches at Montverde, maybe. And then they had informed me that I was playing in it. But the experience playing in it, that shit was like, that was one of the best times of my life. Shit, I played in front of Drake, motherfucking Carmelo. Well, I remember Carmelo walked in the building. I had hit a tray. I'm like, fuck it, I'm finna throw the threes up to my head because Carmelo in this bitch. I was like, fuck it. Like, that was my first time seeing Carmelo, like all type of shit. That shit was lit, bro. We got to watch Drake perform and shit. That nigga had followed all us on Instagram at one point. Niggas was geek. Like, all us was turnt because Drake was following us. Like, that shit was cool, bro. That was a good time. And we met Jordan. Like, we got to sit in the room and have an actual conversation, like, with Jordan, bro. That was the best time of my life, bro. Probably easy.
Did you get to chop it up with Drake when you was there?
I ain't gonna say, like, I chopped it up. Like, everybody was trying to talk to him, so I ain't gonna say I chopped it up with him, but like I did like get to speak to him, like, and he like spoke back to me for sure. But it wasn't necessarily like a chop up, like we could like sit down and like talk for like hours. But we got to meet him. That shit was tough.
What did Jordan tell you guys at the table in the meeting? Did he talk to y'all individually, or was it like a group thing?
Nah, it was like a group thing, and everybody just was asking them questions for real. Like, and he was telling us like how you gotta be a certain type of player to like get selected for this game and all that type of stuff. But we ain't necessarily like talk. We was like more asking questions to him more than necessarily like him giving us like game and stuff.
But you know those Jordan practices or like the most. That's when a lot of NBA scouts came to watch and everything like that. The Jordan brand practices. You know, what was kind of the experience playing in those practices against all the top people in your class?
It was dope, bro. Like I said, my class was nice, bro. So we was getting after it. Like most of the time, we was getting after it. There was some high level talent on the court, bro. Like just think about everybody in our top 10, bro. Yeah. It was like them was the practices, bro. Like it's finna be niggas hooping. Like you might get killed one play, but you might be able to kill him the next play. Like it was a lot of talent in there, bro. And it was playing in front of those like scouts and stuff. That was different. I'm from a small town, bro. So like I ain't never like been in no situation like that until I got there. I had played in front of like a bunch of college coaches and stuff, but that was nothing. But playing in front of those like NBA scouts and stuff, that shit was cool, bro. It was life changing for me. Coming from where I'm from, like it was dope as fuck for me.
I know McDonald's is more prestigious. I talked to Rodney. He was saying like even the security for McDonald's is like is wilder than Jordan. You have a little more freedom with the Jordan game. So
you got a lot more freedom in that Jordan game for sure.
Be able to play in both is dope. Like regardless of
anything. Hell yeah.
You and we got to meet games.
Jadakiss too, bro. I forgot about it. We met Jadakiss, bro. Like that shit. It was more like I ain't gonna say like to explain watered down. That's the cookout. And the McDonald's is like we at the convention center. Like it's gonna be more like more people, more eyes watching. You know what I mean? But Jordan brand was like the cookout time. Not the cookout, but that's a better way to explain it.
When did you find out you got that?
That was in my senior year too. I think they had called my coach, and then I got on the phone with somebody and they told me like you've been selected in the McDonald's All-American game. That was probably like one of my best moments of my life too, for sure. Because I always wanted to be a McDonald's All-American. And I told my brother, like when I was a little kid, I was like, I'm gonna make this game. Like, I know I'm gonna make this game. Because I watched my first one I watched was when LeBron was in it. That was my first McDonald's All-American game I watched. And I knew before that I was watching guys like Kenny Boyd, Brandon Knight, Austin Rivers. Like I was like, them guys was making it, and
Yeah.
in a way, I looked up to them too. Like shit, they making. I want to make this shit too. Like everybody know them. Like and they nice as fuck. So I'm like, shit, I want to make this shit too. Like be up there with them type of dudes.
Yeah. And you did that shit. You made it too, you know.
For sure.
And that game was crazy. So how's the experience playing in it? Like the dunk contest and the game itself. I know the atmosphere is insane. You know, playing in that shit.
Bro. That shit was like, I don't know. They was like, it's like they was preparing you for the NBA, basically.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Like, okay, this shouldn't be All-Star weekend. Like, it wasn't All-Star weekend, but that's how like it was prepared. Like the best guys in the country coming to play an All-Star game, coming to do a 3-point contest, coming to do a dunk contest.
Yeah.
That shit was nice, bro. You was around a lot of people, bro, who I necessarily like didn't really like know because I was just caught up in the hooping and like enjoying like my boys, like being around like fucking Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Like that's my dog. Like to this day, we still cool, bro. Just off of McDonald's All-American game. Like I was more like in tune with that necessarily than like watching who was around us. I was just there to hoop for real.
Your senior year at Montverde. You made you got the assist for the game winning layup.
Jalen hit the tray in the corner.
Hit the tray. Yeah, hell yeah.
Big shot. Fuck with that boy, man, to this day.
How was that game when you played in that?
That game was lit, bro. They had fucking they had Isaiah Briscoe, they had Mike Young, and they had Tyler Enos. They was cold, bro. They was tough. They was all top players too in the country at that time as well. And Tyler Enos had hit one. I remember like might have been 4 or 5 seconds left. Tyler Enos had hit a corner tray ball that put them up. Coach ain't called no timeout. They gave me the rock. I dribbled that bitch all the way up. They collapsed in. I threw it out to Jalen. He hit that shit for game, and that shit was tough. That was probably one of my funnest games I ever played in because that was for the chip, like, and we won. So
you was scared as hell though.
I wasn't scared.
Oh, you weren't even nervous,
bro. I've never been nervous like to hoop, bro. I never been nervous to hoop. I don't know why. My most nervous time where I got jitters to hoop was in the Final Four game we played at UConn. Just cause like I ain't never played in no shit. Like that shit was in the Cowboys like stadium. That shit was big as fuck. Like I was just nervous like seeing all them fucking people. Like I never ever been in no situation like that. So, but I wasn't necessarily nervous to hoop. Cause I don't know, we've been doing this. Like we've been hooping. Like that shit was regular.
So you won that natty. You went to Florida your freshman year.